Here. How are you?
All right, we'll start here with opening remarks from Dynamo head coach Ben Olsen. Ben, what do you take away from today's draw against Kansas City?
I'm not sure. I'm still trying to process that game. Certainly an entertaining game. Getting a late goal after being down twice. Battling back. I thought we were late to the game. I thought the water break. We had a chance to make some adjustments and give them a little spanking. Make sure we're snapped out of it. And from then on, I thought we were really good. But the first 25, 30 minutes just wasn't us. Or the spirit wasn't there and the energy. And it cost us a lot of work, and it obviously cost us a goal. But there's a resiliency to the group. And even on a day that things don't go our way and we kind of gift them 2 goals, we're able to get something out of it. And I think that's an important trait in a team. But the message to the group is, look, we shouldn't have to make it that hard at home. If we show up and give the type of commitment and energy that we had after 30 minutes, I think we would have won that game. And even saying that we gifted them 2 goals, we still had 19 shots, and a lot of those were pretty good looks. So things didn't bounce our way in the box. A couple clearances on the line, and things didn't necessarily go our way on some of the final actions. But getting into the box, getting a bunch of chances, touches in the opposing box was 43. Final third entry. So there's a lot of good, and they did a good job of chopping the game up. Second half, they chopped it up and chopped it up. I thought the referee allowed them to chop the game up. And stoppage time is one thing. It's good to have 10 minutes of stoppage time, but we shouldn't allow it to get to 10 minutes. You have to control the game in that way because teams come in and try to break up the rhythm. And that was a little frustrating, but again, to get something late out of this beats losing.
I think for that, we'll go with Al. Go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Both goals come at the end of each half. What were your thoughts on equalizing the game and then being able to tie the game late?
Yeah, again, it's resiliency. It's a group that has belief, in particular at home, that we can win here. And it was kind of thought after 30 minutes, we were really sharp, and we broke them down. We got a lot of chances, a lot of entries into the box, a lot of looks. And on any other day, maybe it's 3-2, it's 4-2. But it wasn't. They were gritty, and they held strong, and kind of gave them two goals that I think when we look back we're pretty disappointed in.
Those 2 goals came from Alan Pulido, who I believe scored his 3rd brace in the last 6 games.
It's pretty good.
Leads the team with 10 goals. Your thoughts on the game plan for him to contain them?
Well, one's a PK, so I don't know how we contain that. I guess Steve needs to kind of make that play, but that's not always easy. And the other one, we give him a ball, comes right to him, comes back down our throat, and is a forward of that quality. When you gift him an opportunity like that in the box, he's not going to miss it, especially a guy in form right now. So he's changed them. I mean, him coming back into this, he's a real forward, and him dropping lower in lower lines in the game caused center backs trouble, whether or not to go with him or whether or holding mids. We talked about it all week, but if he's a smart player, he finds his spots. But I didn't think overall he had the biggest. It's hard to say. He has 2 goals, but he didn't have the biggest effect on the game, other than the PK and a goal we kind of gift him. But he's a good player.
You guys are still 7-1-2 at home. Short week, another home game in a couple of days. Where's the team's head at right now?
I think they want more. We always want to win at home, and so we're disappointed in that. But I think things aren't always going to go your way, and tonight they didn't. And to find something out of a game that isn't when you're not at your best is a sign that we have the resiliency and the grit that you need to to get into the postseason, and that's our goal. Every point counts, and so we pick something up, and we move. We got a quick one against Minnesota, which is great. It's nice to get back to work, rest up, see who's left, and put the best foot forward for against Minnesota, who's another hot team that's going to come in here and be tough to break down, and they've got some new additions as well, so it'll be another tough one. Good.
Dustin?
Hey, Ben.
Dustin.
The first goal, kind of highlight reel, play there, good setup. What did you see in that first goal?
Yeah, it was I think a beauty. Yeah, it was nice. I can't wait to watch it back. Yeah, it was an entertaining game. I think there was a lot of drama. I've heard about the Kansas City Houston kind of rivalry back in the days, and Pat and a lot of guys that have been around here understand that. It was nice that there was some real tension in that game. Two teams that really want it and want to keep moving up in the standings, but it was a good goal. It was a really good goal, and I will say Ibra does so many good things for this team. So I give him a shout out. Working extremely hard without the ball defensively is a good understanding. Makes a lot of runs, a lot of selfless runs, and he's been fighting it. I mean, he's been goal scorers. When you don't score each game, it becomes heavy, and for him to be on the end of that, it's a special moment for him in the league, and hopefully there's more to come.
And then just that second goal, you throw Sebas, Franco, Thor on, finding an equalizer. Is that just kind of a all attack? The tactics kind of break down. Just how do you guys, when you're going for a goal
well,
like
late,
that?
you're pumping balls in the box, but there's a method to it. I mean, it's two forwards, and they can cause havoc, and they're good in the box. Both Thor and Sebas can score, and I give credit to Ivan to be in the right spot. It's kind of a little broken play, but get balls in the box. And look, we deserved 2 goals in this game. There's, I'm looking at 43 box entries and 19 shots. We deserved 2 goals. We had plenty of chances. I think we could have had more, but they weren't coming. They weren't coming easy. But we got one in the end and got something out of the game.
And just curious, Hector's going to the All-Star game in a couple weeks. You guys then have a game, I think, 2 days later against Orlando. Just what are your thoughts?
Let me say something about Hector tonight. He was incredible tonight. I mean, he was a machine. That's one of the best games I've seen him play for this team, and he just willed this team tonight. His energy was contagious. His quality was through the roof. I just thought he was. It was a lot of fun to watch him tonight. And being an all-star, it's a no-brainer for me. He's been as good as any midfielder in this league, and he's becoming a good leader for this team and a guy that they respect and they know that they want to go to battle with. So it was great. He'll enjoy himself. Hopefully not too much at the All-Star game, and knowing that we got a quick one turnaround, but he's earned it, and I'm excited for him. We haven't had someone in the All-Star game for
2018.
2018. So these are little steps that we want to see. We want to see guys being elevated into the All-Star team, and so these are all little signs that we're going in, I think, the right direction.
Thanks, Ben.
I think we have one on Zoom with Jorge. Jorge, go ahead. Jorge, try again. All right, we'll just call it with
You
that
got one? Yeah.
Yeah, I have one.
Let's go, man. Talk to me.
They took the mic away, so.
That's all right. I can hear you.
Yeah, I was. Sorry, Ben. Yeah, I was just curious. You mentioned obviously, or it was pretty evident just the way that the team started, kind of pretty cautious, I would say, compared to what we've seen here at home. With the game, happening on Wednesday, how can you boost some energy onto the team? After obviously losing 2 games on the road, and then now finding a
Well, you can
late
freshen it up with
equalizer.
some personnel always and do that, but then we have another one after that. So it's going to take a bunch of guys here to get through this week. Other teams are dealing with the same stuff. I thought it was a little, I think it's twofold. Some of it was mentality, and we just weren't, we were getting to the spots, we just didn't have that extra step and have enough fire in our belly from the get-go. And it's a good reminder for us that, you know, we don't just because our home record's good, you don't just step onto your home field and win games. Teams are coming in here, they know it's going to be a tough place to play, and they're going to give, and they're going to scratch. So we have to, there's a certain level that we have to sustain here at home. And again, we just turned it down. It was also tactics were a part of it as well. We were kind of figuring out what they were doing, and I think we made some adjustments that helped. But they were a good team, and they're playing, you know, they're playing at a high level, and frankly, we couldn't get around the ball. So we made some adjustments to tactically to make it more difficult for them, but it was just too easy. Sometimes you think it's energy and then it's also you can't run faster than the ball, so you have to figure it out tactically as well. So it was a little bit of a mix.
And just last one, Coco obviously played today, ended up winning. Just, you know, your thoughts obviously not having him a little longer.
Sort of rooting for Panama. I root for Coco. I was rooting for Coco, but it's great. You know, happy for him. I know he's Panama means a lot to him, obviously, and he's a big deal there. And for them to keep moving on, they have a good team, and they're on a good run. So it's good for Coco. But yeah, I can't wait for him to get back.
Thanks, Coach.
Got one here from Jorge. He shot me a text. So what was your message to the team at halftime, and then again to the substitutes when they came on in the second half after going down 2-1?
It wasn't you know, it was more just as far as the substitutions going in. It's just a matter of what their role was to go in. And they went to two forwards, caused a little havoc in the box, two scorers, and Avanta kind of flowed in behind, and he does a very good job. He's got a knack for smelling where the ball is going to be, and he's done this, I think, twice now, come in and helped us out with some goals. So he's a clever little player. And halftime was, you know, we get the goal right before, so that maybe changed my speech a little bit. But it was, again, more just how to go about them and make sure we could get more pressure to their backs. And we didn't do a good enough job of that. But part of that's on me. Part of that, you know, they were running. It's just we had to manipulate the team and kind of that front structure to make it more difficult on them. So that's about it.
All right, we'll wrap up with that one. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.